You've been quite busy.
Fairly busy, yeah.
Garry's mad creation, bias pedal box reservoirs, Garry's fancy steering column, twin turbo LS motor that he's decided to add to the front end.
Cup holders.
That spoiler is nuts.
Electronically adjusted to go up and down.
You're building like Mk1 Escort shaped supercar now.
That's got the power.
Over here is a very interesting mould. Definitely something I'm considering in the future. Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, and behind me is a very familiar Mk1 Escort TVR that belongs to Garry Bull. I was in the area, so I thought I might as well pop in and see what Garry's been up to since the last time we were down here. And it's fair to say you've been quite busy.
Fairly busy, yeah.
Alright, so as you can see, Garry's car is now wearing its full front end. Definitely looks more like an Escort now, although we know it's not. But yeah, really cool to see this all in one piece. If you didn't see the video that I made a few weeks ago when we first came down to check out this project, definitely go and check it out. I'll leave a link to it in the description. But yeah, this is Garry's mad creation, fiberglass shelled, bubble arched Mk1, although he has made it into even more of a wide body. And yeah, this thing's all about craziness. It's got a twin turbo LS lump in the engine bay. There has been some more changes in the engine bay, which we'll have a look at in a minute. The roll cage is now fitted. He's got the bias pedal box reservoirs mounted. His fancy steering column is mounted. So yeah, he really has been making progress since the last time we saw it. The parcel shelf and sort of bulkhead area has now been fully glassed in, and into the boot it's now looking way more complete with all the fiberglass bits glassed in. The gap there is for the fuel cell. Garry's now got the Porsche carbon fibre spoiler fitted on its mad chassis mounted bracket. Yeah, this thing is nuts. Everywhere you look there's just more and more craziness. These rear lights that the anoraks absolutely hate, but I think look really cool considering the whole of the look of the car is mad anyway. And down here you can see that he's got the diffuser fitted as well. So yeah, this thing is just getting madder and madder by the day. And yeah, it's just really cool to come back down and check it out. I will go around to the driver's side so we can have a look at some more bits a bit more closely. So as you can see, Garry's fancy steering column. This is a collapsible steering column with a, you know, a snap-off steering wheel, but it's been mounted to the cage with all this bracketry. And as you can see, he's got his floor-mounted pedal box fitted as well. So yeah, this thing's really coming together. And yeah, I can't wait to see it actually finished. And I've been promised a passenger ride in it when the time comes as well. Now that Garry's got the front wings fitted, you can see the exhausts poking out the side, very drag racing car-esque. But yeah, let's have a look what's been going on under the bonnet since the last time we were here. And there it is, the twin turbo LS motor that we did see last time, but it just looks so much better now that you've actually got, you know, all the panels mounted around it. And all this is new as well, isn't it, Garry?
Yeah, all the radiator, the intercooler, obviously all new, all mounted in now, plumbed in, just to make sure everything fits, basically.
Yeah. As we mentioned in the last video on this car, this thing's going to be pushing out over 800 horsepower.
Towards 800 possibly.
Yeah, yeah. Still plenty in a car that weighs nothing.
Hopefully around 850.
850 kilos.
Yeah.
So 1 horsepower per kilo. 1,000 horsepower
so when you work it out per tonne,
yeah,
it's a hell of a lot.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. I can't wait to hear this thing fire into life. How long do we reckon?
It's going to be a few months yet. I've got to order some engine parts from America.
Yeah.
New piston rings, new mains, big ends, uprated valve springs, maybe push rods.
Yeah.
Some other little bits and pieces. full gaskets.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah.
sort of stuff. Yeah. So
it's a shame, really. This thing's all got to come apart again. But no, it is really cool to see it all in there, looking complete. But yeah, there is something that Garry was showing me today that he's decided to add to the front end, or you could say take away from the front end. So down here, this is where the indicators would be on a Mk1 Escort, and you've had to enlarge these holes slightly to fit something else.
I've got some plastic brake ducts, which were fake carbon. I've moulded those, and they're now going to replace the indicators because the indicators are in the headlights.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, with these headlights, the outer ring you can have as your indicator as well.
Yeah, and it also goes across the centre as well.
Oh, right,
the
cool.
indicator.
Oh, yeah.
I would have preferred it if it just flashed the outer ring.
Yeah.
Or the line in the centre, but you'd have to take the light apart.
Yeah.
To do that, I'm not getting involved in wiring.
Yeah. So yeah, you're going to utilise the indicator function of these modern headlights, and then that means you can delete the indicators to fit brake ducts. So just more craziness, that's going to be on the front end of this. And we've already said that you're going to be designing a really wild front splitter for it, and you haven't quite come up with your design yet, so I can't wait to see that.
I haven't got to that point yet. I just need to sit in front of the car for an hour and just see what pops into my head, and then just start making it. Just make it on the car, and just if I want to change it, I can change it as I'm doing it. So well, that'll be the next couple of weeks. I'll start that. Yeah.
Just make sure you follow Garry on Instagram and Facebook to follow the progress of this build, because I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it coming together. And over here, I can see that the plan was once to sort of cut it out and probably have a mesh there, but you've changed your mind, right?
Yeah, we've actually gone for cup holders. Now, the idea is obviously just to trim them down so they're only probably 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch deep, and then have 6 of those in the front. It just gives you a nice trim ring instead of just a bare cut hole.
Yeah.
Just finishes it off nicely, but they will be done in carbon, obviously.
Of course.
I've already moulded those and made the moulds.
Yeah.
Again, made the moulds for the brake ducts as well, so that'll all be carbon.
Yeah.
So.
That's gonna tie in nicely. That's awesome. As I say, it's really, really cool to see the front end on this thing. How your wild front wings now sort of flow with your wild rear wings. Yeah, no, it's all really coming together, and really cool to see all the aggressive parts fitted to the back as well. Shall we just put the boot in place?
Yep.
So we can sort of get an idea of how it's actually going to look. So yeah, obviously not fitted properly, but now you can really get a sense of how this thing's going to look. That spoiler is nuts.
I have been thinking about changing it.
Oh really?
Keeping this up, this chassis mount bracket, but I don't like this top part, basically. I'd like to redesign it so you've got one leg coming up to the mounting point here.
Yeah.
Extend this section up, so then use what they call the electric actuator, like an electric ram, onto this mounting point, and then have a controller on the dash where it's electronically adjusted to go up and down.
Yeah.
So if you're on a track day, and if it's fixed, you've got to obviously adjust it manually, but at least with just on a button, you can just adjust it a little bit at a time to see if it helps.
And then couldn't you have an air brake? You could hook it up to your brake pedal so that when you brake harshly, it lifts up to slow you down even quicker.
You could do, yeah. That would look.
You're building like Mk1 Escort shaped supercar now.
That's got the power.
Yeah.
It will have the power.
I think that's a really cool idea.
I am thinking about it, but it's just finding someone that can CNC new ones of these uprights.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll have to make a plywood version first, give them the template.
Yeah.
And then have them made again out of 8mm aluminium.
I might know someone who can help you with that if you come up with a design. But,
I can certainly come up with a design.
Yeah.
2 actuators, a controller.
Yeah.
Off you go.
So you've got the vision. You know what parts you need.
Yeah.
Do it.
Gonna have to, aren't I?
Now, as we mentioned in the last video, things like these black pieces on the rear lights and the diffuser will be done in pre-preg carbon fibre, but yeah, these are just on for mock-up purposes. And as we mentioned in the last video, Garry's going to be doing all the carbon fibre on this car in the chopped carbon fibre, so just looks a bit different than this sort of weave. So yeah, I'm loving this thing. Now Garry is only able to work on this thing in between making carbon fibre and fiberglass panels for other people's cars. And you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again, if you need any fiberglass or carbon fibre panels for your car, especially if you've got a Mk1 Escort, because he's already got loads of moulds for a Mk1 Escort, definitely get in touch with Garry. I'll leave all his details in the description. Yeah, as you can see over in this corner, we've just got tons and tons of moulds that Garry uses to produce his carbon fibre panels. There's actually a Mk1 Escort carbon fibre roof over here. And over here we've got the mould for Garry's brake ducts and his what were cup holders that he's going to be using for the intakes on the front panel, which will help get plenty of cold air to his intercooler and radiator. And over here is a very interesting mould. Definitely something I'm considering in the future, a full carbon fibre pair of Escort doors. Well, it's always great to catch up with Garry, and it's clear to see that his latest project is really taking shape. What a beast that thing's going to be when it's finished. You'll see behind me, in the back of Roger, the plastic Fiesta, is a panel. Now that happens to be the old carbon fibre bonnet off of ESTA, my ST170 powered Mk1 Escort, and this is actually for sale. Now a few people got in touch before we went to Northern Ireland to say that they'd be interested in buying this thing. So if that's you, please do get back in touch with me, or anyone else who's in the market for a carbon fibre bonnet for a Mk1 Escort, definitely get in touch. This is a used bonnet, and it's actually lighter than the carbon fibre bonnets that Garry makes now. This was like a prototype one, so you know, it's a bit thinner, very, very light, but yeah, get in touch if you're interested. This is going to be sold at just over half the price of a brand new one, so yeah, it's a chance for one of you guys to grab a very reasonably priced carbon fibre bonnet. We stopped off to see another guy that had a whole fleet of cool cars to show us on the same day that we went to visit Garry. And I was going to put it all in one video, but I now realise whilst editing the footage that that's just going to make the video way too long. So I'm going to end this video here, and you'll be able to see the fleet that belongs to the other guy in the next video. Definitely stay tuned for that. Now, as I've already mentioned in this video, if you need any fiberglass or carbon fibre parts for your car, definitely get in touch with Garry Bull and let him know I sent you. I'll leave all his links and contact details in the description. And don't forget, if you're in the market for a cheap carbon fibre bonnet for your Mk1 Escort, then drop me an email, and my email address is always in the descriptions of my videos. So that's it for this video. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe if you're new. Check out my website for merch and parts. Massive, massive thanks to all my patrons for your ongoing support. I will leave all the links to everything in the description, along with my email address for anyone who wants to contact me. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.